Hey everyone, hope you are doing great. I have been hearing so many great wins that are happening in your groups right now. Today I went walking with a friend and she is in the Thrive PM group and was just mentioning to me how much she loves her table, how she feels like they've just all been put together for a special reason and that they are really interconnected and it's just amazing. She had no idea what it was going to be like and didn't come with any friends. So I know I'm hearing stories like that everywhere. Another girl told me this week that she has been in Bible studies a really long time, that she has never studied Joshua like this, and she can't believe what she's learning about God. So I hope these things are true for all of you, no matter what season the people in your groups are at. I am trusting that they are getting out of it exactly what God has for them. I was completely excited too because so many people are being diligent and faithful to persevere in these challenging lessons. So I hope that that culture is something that's taking part in your group. And for me, it's kind of a hard balance because I always want to acknowledge that they're challenging, but I also want to say we can do this. Like it's not too challenging, it's not too hard. I don't want to pretend that it's easy peasy, but I don't want to just wither away and toil in the difficulty either. So I know we did this lesson on dividing up the land this week, and I have honestly never done a lesson like this. So I loved Jen Wilkins' encouragement to us at the beginning to just see what God might have for us in it. Um, and so I even came away with a huge nugget that I had never gotten before. It was on that question number 10, maybe, when it was having us look up in those verses in Numbers about why the Levites had different portions. And I had heard that verse in Psalms before that says, "You are the strength of my heart and my portion forever." And I think I always thought about it like a portion, like a piece of pie, like a portion of pie. So it seemed like kind of a small part of it. I realized this might be insane thinking, but that verse was just always a little weird to me. But now that I'm learning that these portions that the Levites had were so special because they were God Himself, and He wasn't just giving them a chunk of the land, He was giving them the very sacrifices from His altar in the tabernacle and His very presence and saying, "You have all of me." So, portion to me is such a weird word for that because it's really the everything that they had. Anyway, I didn't really mean to go into all that, but that completely struck me this week. And it actually, what I learned in Joshua by looking at Numbers and then referring to Psalms, changes how I read the whole Bible. So I hope that women in your groups are having experiences like that too. I hope that when they're not, that when it's tough and they don't have much done, I know you are gracious and just reading through the passages with them as they go, and hopefully they will catch fire. The women that walk in, sometimes they'll come in ahead of time to you and say, "I just love this week's lesson." Make sure you let them share their overflowing bubbliness about it. And the ones that didn't have much down, include them on the application questions. Maybe they can jump in there and contribute in that way. So I would just say this is for sure a week, probably this week and next week. They're going to need the most encouragement. And then honestly, the last 2 weeks, did y'all realize we only have 4 weeks left? The last 2 weeks are just some awesome chapters in Joshua. We finished really strong. So stay faithful, keep at it. It's going really well. I'm so proud of you guys. It's just great. Um, okay, so the lesson this week. I don't really have a group leading tip right away, but as you go through the lesson, I would say a lot of the questions are really straightforward. And I'll put the numbers, of course, if you want to look at those, but you can go through those kind of quickly. What you might want to do, though, I was thinking about this for when I'm leading a group, is to really kind of set the expectation at the beginning. Saying something maybe like, "There's a lot of factual questions this week, and we want to cover many of those, but I would love to hear from everyone on the application questions." And just know that you're going to spend time there. You don't have to hear from everyone, of course, but usually if you let 2 or 3 people share on those, maybe it's a week that 5 or 6 share. So just kind of sink deeper into those places. I did think some of the application questions were really great. But if you set that expectation at the beginning, that might be helpful. Same thing as you evaluate last week. I know I always say this, but as you go back and think about what worked and what didn't, think about what other expectations you might need to revisit at the beginning. If your group is getting sidetracked a lot, you can just joke and say, "I know we always seem to get off course, but this week let's finish and then plan to talk for a few minutes afterwards." Something like that. I don't know what your other problems are. If one woman is not ever talking, You could remind them about holding back a little if they tend to know if they're talkers or not. I always say that. I'm a talker, so I know I have to help myself be quiet and let other people talk, practice that. So, whatever your group needs, just think about starting that expectation at the beginning. The group culture seems so welcoming and so warm, so you are doing a fantastic job. It's really just tweaking at this point to keep the momentum going. With fall break and 4 weeks left, it can be easy to just let other things crowd our calendar. But as loving and graciously as you can, I would just encourage them to stay strong and to plan around it to make this time a priority, not just for themselves, but for the people in the group, because everyone benefits just for 4 more weeks. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that's encouraging, and they will be getting so much out of it that they'll naturally want to come back. Okay, last thing, I won't ramble on too long this week, is that I am putting a link at the bottom of the email. It's a little sign up. So I don't even know what it's called, to be honest. There's my dog. She wanted to be in the video this week, I guess. It's a little sign up because what I would love to do, I feel like we're always rushed on Tuesday mornings and Wednesday nights, and I would love to spend more time with each of you and just catch up. So it's a little sign up for coffee. We could just grab coffee if you'd rather go on a quick walk, tea, whatever you drink. Coke, hey, I love Coke. We can go to Sonic. Oh my goodness, look at this. Where is she? There's Henley. Sorry, that's kind of my reality right now. She had to sit right next to me for this. So anyway, it's kind of like 45-minute to an hour time slots, so you don't have to hang out with me all day. But I would love to spend that time. If this is a really busy season of life for you and it feels like one more thing that would be overwhelming, zero obligation. We can figure out a time and a place, but I'm just using this mass sign up tool because it's much easier than texting everyone back and forth. So just know that that is an option that I would love, love, love to hang out with each of you and get to talk a little more in depth. I feel like I always get to say, "How are you?" And I'm just looking at your eyes and body language to see how you really are, but we don't always get to the deeper places. So it would be really a treat for me to do that. Okay, I think that is it this week. If there's anything else, oh yeah, a lot of you have told me how I can be praying for you specifically, and I am. And if you have anything else, please let me know that too because I love it. Okay, have a good week. Bye.